Hello, welcome back to my series of videos on breathwork practices for health and well-being. So hopefully by now you've had a chance to have a look at the previous videos and to practice some of those exercises. Some practices there for relaxation, releasing tension in the body, for grounding. Mindfulness of breath is a great place to start, so just becoming aware of your own personal breath pattern, where you experience your breath in your body, just noticing that. So it's a lovely mindful exercise in one of the previous videos. And then we moved on to belly breathing. So I think that's where we left off in the last video, is just starting to look now at some more active, dynamic breathing exercises. So previous exercise, mindfulness of breath, is very passive. It's just noticing. We're not trying to force or control anything, simply observing the breath in the body. Then we move on to belly breathing, which is actually encouraging the breath to move further down into the belly, because this is our natural breath. This is the breath we are born with. We're born belly breathing. If you have pets at home, cats and dogs, you'll notice they breathe in and out of the belly, a natural breath. What can happen over time is through stress, anxiety, through being in a state of fight or flight, we can become upper chest breathers. So we're breathing very quickly and shallowly from the upper chest. Things can tighten up here, so you can notice a lot of tension in your neck, shoulders, headache, jaw. So what we want to do is just direct the breath further down into the belly, and this takes a certain amount of practice. We want to be able to strengthen the diaphragm, so that as we get our diaphragm to descend, we create more space for it in the belly, and it's a great core strengthening exercise as well. So before we go on to diaphragmatic training to improve our belly breathing, let's just take a look at two very quick breathing exercises to actually bring the nervous system into balance. So as I mentioned before, belly breathing, diaphragmatic training, it's really helpful if you have quite an activated nervous system. So if you're often in a state of anxiety, stress, fight or flight, if you find yourself emotionally dysregulated, if you have problems sleeping, you have a disturbed night's sleep, then diaphragmatic training would be for you. But if you're someone who just wants to bring both branches of your nervous system into balance, so you still want to maintain that focus, concentration, energy, but you also want to feel grounded and regulated, then we need to bring both the sympathetic and the parasympathetic into balance, so they're working together. And there are two exercises for this. First one being coherent breathing, and second one being alternate nostril breathing, and we'll come on to that in a moment. So let's just get you set up in a place for coherent breathing, if this is something you want to practice on a regular basis. Certainly my suggestion to you would be, if you're going to practice any kind of breath work daily, probably the most beneficial to all of us, anyone will benefit from these exercises, is this one, coherent breathing, balanced breathing, 10 minutes a day, morning or evening. If you can increase that to then twice a day, 10 minutes morning, 10 minutes evening, great. Same with belly breathing or diaphragmatic training, again 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes morning or evening, or extending that to a 20-minute practice, perhaps before bedtime. But we'll come on to that in the next video. So for now, let's practice coherent breathing. To do this, we first of all want to find out how many breaths you are currently breathing per minute, because what we're aiming for here is 4 to 8 breaths per minute, or the therapeutic breath really being 6 breaths per minute. That is the place we want to get to. But many of us will be double that, if not triple that, when we first start out. So I am going to set you off in a moment with my timer. I'm going to give you a minute to sit and simply count how many breaths you are currently comfortably breathing in a minute. See if it's anywhere close to 6, more likely to be 11 or 12, and for many of us it will be 14, 15 plus. So don't be surprised if that's the case. It's going to take time and practice to reduce that breath rate, to slow the breath rate down to 6 breaths per minute, and there is a way we can do that by building that up every day, every week. We'll go on to that in a moment. But for now, let's get into a comfortable position, ready just to count our breaths the next minute. A breath is the in and the out. That's one breath. Okay. Focusing on your breath now. Go. Start counting your breaths. In, out is 1. Excellent, and stop there, just pause there a moment, let go of the counting, maybe make a note now how many breaths you currently breathe per minute comfortably. So I was counting about 9 there, 9 or 10 was my breath count there, probably because I'm currently on camera, not terribly comfortable with that, and I'm talking. If I were in a more relaxed state, focused on that, just mindfully breathing, I would probably be within the therapeutic range of 6 to 8 breaths per minute. So just note that, and note what it is you want to be working on, how far you've got to go now to reduce your breaths to 6 per minute. And the way to do this is to now, we're going to count how many seconds is your in-breath, how many seconds is your out-breath. And if they're slightly out, if one is slightly higher than the other, so you might have an in-breath of 4, out-breath of 3, I want you to bring those numbers up to an equal count. So if you are a 4 and a 3 or a 4 and a 5, I want you to bring that up to the higher number. So I want you to then breathe in to a count of 4 and breathe out to a count of 4, or breathe in to a count of 5, breathe out to a count of 5. So first of all, we just want to see what is at the moment a comfortable breath, number of seconds on the in-breath, number of seconds on the out-breath. Bring that number up to equal number, the higher number, and then we're going to practice just for a minute, breathing in, same number of seconds on the in-breath, breathing out, same number of seconds on the out-breath. This is called balanced, coherent breathing. And eventually, much like the 6 breaths per minute, to achieve that, what we want to be working towards is actually breathing into a count of 6, breathing out to a count of 6, or thereabouts. We might manage 5, we might go beyond that and manage a count of 7. But if we're looking for an average of 6 here, we would be wanting to work towards breathing into a count of 6, breathing out to a count of 6. But that could take time if you are at the moment on a count of 3 or a count of 4. If you are, you're going to want to be practicing for the next couple of weeks, just starting there wherever you're comfortable, and every couple of days just seeing if you can increase that by 1 second. So 1 second to the in-breath, 1 second to the out-breath, just so you start to increase that, perhaps that 3 to a 4 over a week, and then perhaps over another week the 4 to a 5. So over the coming weeks you would eventually find that you're comfortable with breathing into a count of 6, breathing out to a count of 6. But it takes time, and you want it to be comfortable. There may be slight discomfort there to start with as you get used to that, but really we want to start from a place of comfort. So just trying that now. Yep, we're approaching the minute mark. So again, finding yourself in a comfortable position, perhaps closing your eyes just to focus on the breath. Okay, and go. So now start counting. How many seconds is your in-breath? How many seconds is the out-breath? In-breath, out-breath. Just counting for the next 30 seconds, finding the place where you're comfortable. Excellent. I hope by now you've got an idea of that. I was definitely a 3 as I was counting there. 3 on the in-breath, 3 on the out-breath. So wherever you are, if they are uneven numbers, just bring the lower number up to the higher number. And now we're just going to have the next minute practicing equal breaths. Same number of seconds on the in-breath, same number of seconds on the out-breath, where you are comfortable. No forcing. Nothing that feels too uncomfortable. So let's go. Excellent, and letting go of the counting now. Good. Hopefully you found that comfortable and possibly quite relaxing, grounding at the end of that. That should be bringing your nervous system into a state of balance by practicing that breath exercise. So as I say, something to be practiced every day for 10 minutes, finding the place where you're comfortable, and then every couple of days just trying to increase that by another second. If you're not sure about the counting of the seconds, if you're perhaps counting at a different rate on the in-breath to the out-breath, or each day you might be counting at a slightly different rate, there is something you can get online on YouTube if you just search for a metronome. So the metronome is the thing that goes. So it will be a nice rhythmic, paced, balanced beat. the metronome, and you'll see it as this kind of image online. So find yourself a metronome to help you count those beats for the in-breath and the out-breath. That should keep you in sync and making sure that you're going at the right pace with each breath and with each practice. Okay, so second breathing technique to balance the nervous system, to bring in energy and cleansing of the energy system, but also to ground and to regulate, is alternate nostril breathing. And I will talk you through now the most simplest way of doing this. Alternate nostril breathing is known as Nadi Shodhana. It's a balancing breath which energizes as well as calms and cleanses. You may need to blow your nose first, so if you need to go and have a quick blow now, please do. What I'm going to ask you to do when you're ready is to take your right hand and to fold down the fingers, the middle fingers of the right hand, just leaving your pinky and your thumb accessible. We always start with an exhale through the right nostril. So first we just want to take a full inhale and exhale, then inhale, bring the finger and thumb up to the nose, block the left nostril and exhale through the right nostril. So we always start with the exhale through the right nostril. So hopefully now you've given your nose a blow. And let's just start with a nice full inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Then an inhale through the nose. Bring your pinky and your thumb up, block the left nostril, exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Block right nostril, relief left nostril, and exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Block, release, exhale through the right nostril. Inhale, right nostril. Block, release, exhale, left nostril. Inhale, left nostril. Block, release, exhale. Inhale. 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 And just continue. Excellent. Just bringing that to a pause when you're ready. Just notice how that feels. I often feel a lot clearer in the head after doing that. I understand for a good night's sleep, if you're having trouble getting off to sleep at night, you've got a busy mind, monkey mind, lots of chatter, things going on in the mind, that if you practice left nostril breathing in bed at night, so just closing the right nostril, just lying comfortably relaxed in bed and breathing through the left nostril. That really works for some people to send them off to sleep, to a really good night's sleep. So if you do have a busy mind at night, practice left nostril breathing. So there we go, 2 balancing breaths for the nervous system to both energize, cleanse, but also calm, ground and regulate. So have a go at those 2. Practice every day, 5 or 10 minutes. And we're going to come on to, in the next video, back to belly breathing and diaphragmatic training. For that video, you will probably need your yoga mat and a couple of heavy books, 2 heavy books. So I'll see you in the next video.